Have you ever paid a bill and thought, why did that barely make a dent? That's not you failing. That's interest and minimum payment rules working exactly as designed. Most people pay debt without a strategy and accidentally choose the slowest path. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to build a payoff order and a practical 6-month plan that still works when life gets messy. I'll show it to you in two modes so you can choose what fits your life.
Debt gets paid off fast by a plan, not good intentions. Good intentions say, I'll pay more someday. A plan tells you exactly where the extra goes this month.
True. But before we start, a quick note. I'm not a financial advisor and this video is only for educational purposes. I'm showing a planning method, not personal advice. Also, the numbers you see today are fictional. If you want to follow along with your own situation, here's a privacy-safe method. Step 1. Replace creditor names with labels. 2. Round balances to the nearest 100. 3. Round APR to the nearest whole percent. 4. Never paste any identifying information. And 5. Use privacy settings in the AI tool and turn on temporary chat like shown in my previous video, AI budgeting system that actually works. Now we can use AI for structure and planning without oversharing. So, when I say debt, I'm talking about things like credit cards, store cards, lines of credit, car loans, student loans, personal loans, medical financing, payment plans like buy now, pay later plans, etc. Mortgages and HELOCs are also debt. But we're not including mortgage in today's payoff phrase because mortgage is a long-term loan with different goals. For this strategy, mortgage stays as a background fixed payment while we focus on debt that are typically high interest and can be cleared faster. Now, before we build a plan, we need to clear one terminology. Credit cards call it minimum payments and loans call it required monthly payment. It's the same thing, the smallest amount due to stay on time. In the template, I have labeled it as minimum required payment, and every month the order is simple. Minimums first, then extra. And since we're talking about payments, one heads up. Extra payments don't work the same everywhere. Cards are usually straightforward, but some loans treat extra as paying ahead instead of reducing what you owe. So, use this as a roadmap and check your lender's payment rules before making any extra payments. Now, let's zoom in on credit cards for a second, because they have a couple of rules that make balances feel sticky. Two quick terms. First is a statement balance, that is, the amount on your bill when the cycle closes. And the second is your current balance that changes day to day as you spend and pay. If you pay the minimum by the due date, you're not late, but anything you don't pay rolls into the next month. And most cards only avoid interest if you pay the full statement balance. If you carry a balance, interest usually applies and new purchases may start accruing interest right away. So when we run the numbers, they'll be estimates, not exact to the dollar, because interest is calculated daily. We'll run the plan two ways.
Yes, she didn't need a perfect budget month. She needed a plan that survives real life, that is surprise expenses, busy weeks, and the occasional oops purchase. That's the point of the two modes.
True. And the two modes are clean baseline mode, that is no new purchases on payoff cards, and second is real life mode, that is purchases still happen each month. Now that the rules and assumptions are clear, we are ready to turn this into a plan. And the plan starts with one thing, a clean snapshot. Don't overthink it. 5 columns, that's it. And that will be label, type, rounded balances, rounded APR, and the minimum required payment. Do not use real names, exact balances, or upload documents. Once you've got those 5 columns, you're done with the hardest part. Now we are going to use AI for what it's actually good at. Cleaning the layout, calculating totals, and turning your list into something you can work with. And now I'm going to use this prompt in ChatGPT. Create a clean debt snapshot table for my list. Give me columns like debt label, type, balance, APR, and minimum required payment. Calculate total debt and total minimum required payments. Identify the highest interest debts. Do not ask for personal details. Ask only one question. How much extra per month I can put towards debt beyond minimums? Add a one-line note that extra payment rules for installment loans can vary by lender and country. The number you care about is the total minimum required payments. That's your baseline. With this snapshot done, the next question is, do you want the changes payoff speed? Where does the extra money go first? You have two options. First, high interest first. That is, extra goes to the highest APR debt, which usually reduces interest faster. And second, smallest balance first. That is, extra goes to the smallest balance, which usually gives quicker wins. Now I will paste this prompt to get both payoff orders side by side. Using my debt snapshot, create two payoff orders. A. High interest first, that is the highest APR to lowest APR, and B. Smallest balance first, that is lowest balance to highest balance. Assume I can add $500 extra per month. Explain the trade off in plain language. Now, save the snapshot as we will use this later, and once you pick the payoff order, everything becomes mechanical. Minimum payments on everything, and the extra goes to the current target debt. For this walkthrough, I'm choosing high interest first. Let's start with generating the clean baseline mode plan, meaning no new purchases on the payoff cards. Now, let's use another prompt. Using my debt snapshot and high interest first mode, build a 6-month month-by-month plan. I pay minimums on all debt plus $500 extra to the current target. No new credit card purchases during these 6 months. Interest is calculated daily and payment is made at the end of each month. Output a table with columns like month, target debt, payment to target, other minimum payments, and estimated remaining balances. If the target is paid off mid-month, roll any leftover extra plus freed minimum to the next debt within the same month. Don't carry leftover to the next month. Add a note, installment loan extra payments are if allowed because rules vary by lender and country. Okay, this is what ChatGPT is telling me. Month by month, it shows which debt gets the extra payment and what the estimated balances look like after each month. Now I'm going to generate real life mode where purchases still happen every month. I'll use a fictional example, $200 of new purchases on the 10th of each month on card A. Remember, this is still an estimate. Real interest depends on exact timing. Now, use this prompt. Build a 6-month real life mode payoff plan using my snapshot using high interest first. Each month, I'll pay minimums plus $500 extra to the current target. For credit cards, assume ongoing new purchases and add purchases before applying payments each month. Card A adds $200 on the 10th of each month and payments are made on the last day of each month. Card B adds $0. Interest is calculated daily and payment is made at the end of each month. If the target is paid off before using the full $500 extra in a month, roll leftover extra plus freed minimum to the next debt that same month. No carryover. And output an estimates table with the columns of month, target debt, new purchases, payment to target, other minimums, and ending balances. You'll see the difference right away. When new purchases keep happening, the balances drop slower and sometimes it barely moves. Now, I'm going to add a buffer because real months are not perfect. This applies to both modes. Rebuild the 6-month plan using a 10% buffer taken from the extra payment. Show the buffer as a separate line item each month and reduce the extra target payment accordingly, and keep the same assumption mode. Okay, this is what ChatGPT updated after adding the buffer. You'll notice the extra payment gets slightly smaller, but the plan gets more realistic. And once it's realistic, we can pressure test it. And this stress test is just to see how the plan changes when life happens. Use scenarios that actually match your situation. Stress test the real life mode plan and give me a 6-month plan using these specific scenarios and months. Month 2, I can pay minimum required payments only on all debts and $0 extra to the target debt. Months 3 and 4, my extra payments is 30% lower than the planned. Minimums stay the same. And month 5, I get a one-time $500 windfall to apply to debt. For each scenario, tell me exactly what to pay in the next month, same payoff approach, and keep it simple and list the payments and show estimated interest added for that month by debt. So, what this stress test is doing is simple. It's showing how the plan changes when the inputs change for a month or two. It does not rewrite your whole strategy. It tells you what to do next, which is exactly what you need when life happens. And that takes us to the piece that makes it sustainable, the monthly review. Now, we make this sustainable. The monthly review depends on which assumption you are using. In clean baseline mode, you'll update the balances and regenerate the next 6 months. In real life mode, you also update estimated new purchases because spending changes month to month, and then use this prompt. Here are my updated balances, APRs, minimum required payments, and my updated estimated new monthly purchases for each credit card. Use real life assumption mode where new purchases continue. Create an updated debt snapshot table from these inputs. Generate the next 6-month plan using high interest first with $500 extra payment every month. In real life mode, Include the monthly purchases as provided and flag any card where the balance is not decreasing month over month. And add one reminder line. If applying extra to loans, verify lender rules on how extra payments are applied. End with one sentence. What to pay next. Label outputs as estimate. Whatever mode you're using, this monthly review is what keeps the plan honest. You're not committing to one perfect forecast. You're updating the plan based on what actually happened. And that's the difference between a plan that looks good on screen and a plan that works in real life. So, the next step is simple. Build your privacy safe snapshot today. What's harder for you right now? Finding extra money each month or staying consistent once you have a plan? Tell me in the comments below. And if you want the prompts used in this video, comment dead and I shall send them to you. Also, hit subscribe and like the video for more AI workflows you can actually use.